What is going on, guys? My name is BCK, aka Berserk, and today I'm proud to bring you guys my first Taken King DLC class build for the new subclasses. This is the first build for the new subclass for the Warlock, Stormcaller, and this class is built specifically for taking out as many adds as possible. If any of you guys have played the new raid, Kingsfall raid, which I'm sure a lot of you have, you guys will know that there's a shit ton of ads. The ads, my personal opinion, is what makes the raid hard. Like, the mechanics are hard, but dealing with the ads at the same time just, like, put it to a whole new level. It's crazy. So this build is designed specifically for taking out as many ads as possible. So without further ado, let's get right into it, starting with the grenade, of course. I use the Arc Bolt grenade. There's 3 key perks in this whole build. The grenades are not one of the 3. Any of the 3 are viable. I just choose the Arc Bolt grenade because it's the easiest to use. It chains up to 3 enemies at once and pretty moderate damage also. But again, Storm Grenade, I mean, if you like the delayed effect and you like people being within a certain radius, go for it. Same with the Pulse Grenade. They're both kind of AoE type grenades. I don't really prefer that. I prefer the Arc Bolt grenade, but again, it's all personal preference. It's all up to you guys. Either 3 of these grenades work. For the jump, we're using Focus Burst because we need as much speed as possible. As you can see, our agility isn't too high, and if we're going to be in the middle of a whole bunch of enemies, which we will for this build, we want as much speed as we can so we can dip out whenever our health gets pretty low. So we want to rock Focus Burst in that regard. For Storm Trance, we're going to be using Superconductor. Doubles your Storm Trance's lightning chaining capabilities. It chains up to so many people. It's absolutely crazy. I think the most that I've counted before was like 8 or 9 people at once chaining. Like, it's so good. You deal so much damage to so many enemies, and ultimately, if half of those enemies die, even you'll be generating so many orbs at once. Superconductor is very good for ad control. Moving on to the Thunderstrike, all 3 of these perks are very underwhelming, actually, except for Amplitude for PvP. So for PvE, we're gonna be using Chain Lightning. Your Thunderstrike chains to another nearby enemy. Now, I've tested this where I've killed a Thrall before when another Thrall was right next to it, and Lightning chained to that second Thrall, but it did not kill it. It was very disappointing. Like, it brought it down to like 10-15% health or something like that. It's very annoying. I like to see that second Thrall take enough damage to die. Unfortunately, that is not the case, but if the Thrall is weak, it will ultimately kill it, but again, it has to be weak in the first place. And then Amplitude, like I said, for PvP, ridiculous. Your range is absolutely crazy. Almost borderline OP. Almost. It's very good. And then why do I always think Ionic Blink is here? Ionic Blink is for the Storm Trance. For the last perk, Rising Storm, hits with the Thunderstrike charge your super ability in your melee energy. Without a doubt, the most underwhelming perk I've ever used, ever, in this game. It does. I've had it stacked 3 times because I had Cause of Ahamkara and Feedback on, and it did literally nothing. I noticed no difference. It's so underwhelming. Maybe 5%, 10% extra for each, maybe, but I didn't notice a difference at all using this. It's a very underwhelming perk. I highly recommend you guys do not use this. So, moving on for our, what would you call it, stats, attributes, whichever, armor, recovery, agility. Normally I would say it's up to personal preference, but because we're going to be in the middle of a whole shit ton of ads, we want enough armor and recovery to not die so fast and take a lot of hits as we can. Like, our agility is low, so that's why we want Focus Burst again, so we can dip out whenever our health is getting low. But our armor and recovery is what we're going to focus on because we want to take as many hits as possible, because believe me, you will be near so many enemies at once. It's very important that you have your armor up so you can take a lot of hits. But otherwise, I would call it, you know, up to personal preference. Now, moving on to the second out of the 3 key perks, the first one being Superconductor. The Superconductor is so good. Our second key perk is Transcendence. When cast with full grenade and melee energy, your Storm Trance restores your health instantly, and your Storm Trance drains slower, significantly slower, like almost twice as slow. Like it's so good. You have your Stormcaller active for so long. I think I counted once. It was like 13 to 12 to 15 seconds, somewhere around there. When normally it's around 7 maybe. So almost double around there. It makes a huge difference. Now if you're in the middle of a bunch of ads and your health is getting low, assuming you have your grenade and your melee charge, you can use your Storm Trance, instantly replenish your health to full, and with our exotic gauntlets, which I'll get to in a second, your enemies will be disoriented and you'll be chaining so much lightning to so many enemies, potentially killing a lot of enemies at once, ultimately potentially generating a lot of orbs for your teammates. So I can't say enough about Transcendence. It's so good, very, very crucial, very helpful, and it's very, very good. Now, for the final perk, we're using Arc Web. Enemies damaged by your grenade chain deadly lightning to other nearby enemies. So not only is our super and our melee chaining lightning, but also with this perk, our grenades now are. And I think the most enemies I've chained up to one time is 6. 3 with the arc bolt, and then each kind of bolt chained to another enemy near it. So it stacked up to about 6 or so. I may be wrong on that. Maybe it was 5. Maybe I miscounted, but it was somewhere around 5 or 6 enemies at once, taking damage from just one grenade. Like, it's so good. Arc Web is so good. Electrostatic Mine, it's kind of iffy. It's like I deliberately did not use my Storm Trance on a Thrall to see how much damage this would do, and it took about 10% off of his health, which is very underwhelming. And in that situation, you wouldn't even wait for it to deal damage to your enemies anyway. You'd just be using your Superconductor perk on your Storm Trance. So, Electrostatic Mine, I mean, it charges a little bit faster when your allies are nearby, but not enough for me personally to warrant its use. For Perpetual Charge, it's kind of iffy too, because I've gotten a grenade kill and my melee didn't recharge instantly, but on the other side of things, I've gotten a melee kill and it instantly recharged my grenade. So, I don't know, Perpetual Charge and Electrostatic Mine are kind of iffy, but for this specific build, we want to rock Arc Web. Now for the exotics, we're going to be using the new Taken King exclusive, the Impossible Machines, for the Stormcaller specifically, and it grants Landfall. Fire a bolt of lightning into the ground, creating a devastating shockwave under you. This is exactly like the Fist of Havoc from the Striker Titan class. Exactly like it. The only difference is, whatever enemies you do not kill, you disorient for a good 3 to 4 seconds, allowing you to get some free damage on them without taking damage from them. It's very, very helpful if you're in the middle of a whole bunch of ads. Even when you don't have a full grenade or melee energy charge to proc Transcendence, this is still a very, very helpful perk to have. Now, I have increased Discipline just to get my nade back faster, to proc Arc Web a lot faster. Momentum Transfer, gain bonus mana energy from grenade hits. Again, the synergy, absolutely ridiculous. So good, so good. And then for auto rifle reloader, increased reload speed of auto rifles. This helps us a lot, specifically because our exotic primary is, of course, an auto rifle, the Zalo Supercell. Now, let me just tell you, this is without a doubt one of the best guns in Destiny right now. For PvP or PvE, excuse me, it's borderline overpowered. Like, you essentially have unlimited ammo. Let me explain. So, Zalo Supercell, arc projectiles have a chance to chain lightning when enemies are close together. So, not only is our grenade chaining lightning, not only is our super chaining lightning, not only is our melee chaining lightning, but also our primary has the potential to chain lightning to other nearby enemies. So you can see where this kind of ad build is kind of going. Like, it doesn't proc all the time. It procs maybe 40% of the time or so, 35-40% of the time when enemies are nearby, and it just helps with the bolts from the blue perk. Double kills with this weapon, charge a small amount of super energy and return ammo to the mag, and you return exactly half of your magazine back. So as long as you're getting double kills on like Thralls, Cursed Thralls, Acolytes, Knights, or whatever you can kill, you will get half your magazine back minimum, and your super will be charging a lot faster. For PvE, I use rifle barrel just to get that extra range so I can get the most damage on things as possible. For PvP, I use braced frame because the extra stability is worth the 8 less shots. Your magazine drops to 28. It does not say 36. It's a glitch, unfortunately, but the increased stability is well worth the ammo drop. But for PvE, I use rifle barrel just for that extra range. And guys, I cannot say enough about this weapon. This weapon is so good, and in PvP, it melts people. Like, it melts people. If you have an accurate shot and at least half your shots are hitting the head, you are going to melt people. Like, that's where your shots should be going anyway. So with brace frame, the increased stability is just, I mean, and again, if enemies are near the guy you're shooting, it has a chance to proc the Zalo Supercell perk, which chains lightning to that enemy. And if you get double kill, well, you return half your magazine back, and you get your Storm Trance. It helps you with your Storm Trance cooldown. So, man, I can't say enough about this weapon. I highly recommend you guys try and get this. It is so good, without a doubt, my favorite gun in the game of Destiny. But guys, that's the build. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please drop a like if you do. It shows me that you like the content I'm bringing out, and it helps other people see it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm excited to bring you guys more videos. And as always, peace out, guys.